What's up, guys? Um, so this is actually going to be a video response to Brennan. Queerbtw, I believe, is his little username, but he kind of prompted me to share some of my stories and experiences, being trans and just, queer person in general. I think a lot of us can relate when, he said that there have been those awkward times where people don't really know if you're a boy or a girl or, you know, basically a 22-year-old lesbian or a 14-year-old, you know, high school guy. Um, so I've had plenty of those where mostly a lot of little kids will kind of just look and stare and look away and then look back and look away and look back and just keep kind of staring at me, trying to like figure out um, whether or not I'm a boy or a girl. And I guess a specific story with that, I want to say it might have been pre-T. I was over at one of my friend's houses, and he has a younger sister, and I hadn't been to his house probably in a little bit. Um, and his sister asked me, she said, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" And she was like, "Well, I don't know." And I was like, "Well, I'm a boy." And she was like, "No, you're not." And, she just kind of laughed and ran away, and I didn't really say anything about it. My friend didn't really say anything about it. So it was just it was a little bit awkward, a little bit uncomfortable for me, but I guess really no harm, no foul. Like I said, she's little. She's probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 maybe. So no sense really in trying to confuse her. Um, Something more recent within like the past couple of months, I was really sick. I had pneumonia, and then that turned into bronchitis. So I was at the hospital a few times this past semester, and at one of my trips, um, well, I guess I'll start with both times that I was there. You know how you have to go back to the triage nurse, and they ask you all the usual questions, take your temperature and blood pressure. Um, Both times they asked, "Are you on any regular medication?" So I told them, testosterone every week, and surprisingly, both of them knew um, what it was to be transgender, because they both asked. They said, "Oh, are you transitioning? Um, are you transgendered?" So I had a conversation with them, and they both said to me, they're like, honestly, you know, they wouldn't have known any different. Um, and they were kind of a bit confused when they read off my birth name, and I started to walk back. So that was pretty cool. That was fun, and I just kind of talked to them about it a little bit. And the second time that I went, I had to get chest X-rays both times, but the second time that I went, um, the nurse walked me back, and um, the X-ray technician, he walked past me while I was sitting outside, walked in, grabbed my paperwork, and then opened the door. He looked at me, looked at his paperwork, looked back up at me, got really confused, looked back at his paperwork, and then looked up at me again and said, "What's your name and birth date?" So I told him, and after that, he was like, "Okay, let's go." Um, so again, that was kind of cool because clearly I don't look like my birth name should be assigned to me. Um, there's no trying to hide the fact that my birth name is a girl's name. Um, so, yeah, that was just kind of interesting, and it's just funny to see, his face kind of contort and twist because he wasn't really sure and he was very confused when he saw me sitting there. So that was that. Um, Another, I guess, funny experience that I've had is the bank up at school that I use. The teller, one of the tellers is one of those people who likes to use your name a lot in a sentence. Like she'll call you by your name 8 times in one sentence. One of those. Uh, so she'll say my birth name over and over again, but then refer to me as young man or sir or, he, this. So again, it's just kind of funny to me because my birth name is nowhere near um, a guy's name, so I don't know. But it's awesome though that she uses the right pronouns, and I mean, I've never said anything to her. Like, she's never met me or known me before me opening up my account, so that was interesting. Um, Another very, very recent interaction, which happened on Friday. So what was that? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I got hired at my high school to TA and be a lunch aide pretty much, which is awesome. And I needed to drop off a last little bit of paperwork, so I went in and you know the person at the main desk was like, "What are you here for? Can I see your ID?" So I showed it to her, and she told me how to fill out the form and everything. And um, how did it come about? She said something, said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Oh, it's this." Told her my birth name, but then I said, "But I go by Aaron." And she said, "Okay." And she was like, "Did you go here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I graduated from here in 2008." And we started talking a little bit. She didn't remember me, but I remembered her, and we had a bad incident back when I was in like 7th grade. It was stupid. It was childish. And it was actually false, but she thought that I had done something very wrong, so she was not very happy with me, so she didn't really like me, um, and in turn, I didn't really like her because she falsely accused me of something, but anyway, not the point. So, you know, we started talking. She was like, "What did your name used to be when you went here?" And again, I told her my birth name. Whatever. It didn't really phase me all that much. Um, and so we started talking. Like, I know her daughter. Her daughter actually has the same major as me, and she's teaching now out in Queens. So we were just kind of, shooting the shit. And she was like, "Well, nice talking to you, Aaron. We'll see you soon." So I went back, went to the office, did what I needed to do. Um, and then as I was walking back towards the main desk to sign out, the same woman, she had a teacher had walked by, and she was like, "Oh, I need to tell you something." And the teacher kind of stopped, and he was like, "What's up?" And then she saw me, made eye contact with me, and was like, "Oh, I can't tell you right here. I'll tell you later." So the teacher was like, "Okay, like whatever." And she was like, "Well, it's something good though. It's something good." So that was just kind of weird because there was another woman who was at that like main desk. So, why would she say she would need to tell this teacher something and then all of a sudden be like, "Well, I can't tell you here," after she made eye contact with me? So that kind of made me a little bit uncomfortable. I wasn't really thrilled with that, um, because I don't know if it was something about me. And I mean, if it is, I can't really stop what she's gonna say, but hopefully it wasn't anything like that. So that was a little bit sketchy, but whatever. Um, and then the last really experience that I've had, um, I know I'm ending on a bad note, but it happens. Pre-T, like very very pre-T, early to me coming out. Um, I went to use the men's room in a Walmart in a very small, pretty conservative upstate town. upstate New York. So those of you that know the upstate New York area know that it's not really the most LGBT friendly, but anyway, I go in there, doing my thing. It's fine because no one's in there. As I'm leaving the stall, another gentleman had already walked in. Um, but I don't pay any attention to him. Just go to wash my hands and get ready to leave. And he blocks my way from the door to leave and starts saying some things. Uses very harsh language, but pretty much said something along the lines of that there are gay people around, and sometimes you really need to beat the living crap out of them to teach them a lesson. So I don't know if that was directed at me, if you know he saw a gay person outside and just really has strong feelings against them, or if he was just kind of not really with us and just saying some random things. But that really freaked me out. And ever since then, I really have had bathroom issues. And Brennan, I know you were talking about that too, but how you were saying you were fine pre-T, but the further into T you've gotten, it's been harder for you. Um, it's always been hard for me ever since that incident. It's been really hard for me to use a restroom, and again, like you said, I try and use gender neutral bathrooms as often as possible, but a lot of the times they either aren't available or they don't exist in certain places, so it sucks. So I kind of want to end this with other guys, going to the bathroom. How comfortable are you using men's restrooms? And for those of you that are very comfortable, don't have any issues with it, do you use an STP? Because that's the other thing, I guess, with bathrooms is I do have an STP. It's a medicine spoon. I'm not really thrilled with it because I do have instances where it does leak. Sometimes it does drip, and it's not perfect. So I don't really like to use it, but I feel like it's really obvious when I sit to pee. Um, so yeah, for the other guys out there who don't have SCPs or don't use SCPs, do you have any issues? Have you ever had, you know, guys give you weird looks after leaving a stall and sitting to pee? Do people really notice, or is no one really paying that much attention, and am I just super paranoid and thinking too much about it? Um, so that's that. I mean, it's been 13 minutes. I've rambled on for way too long. If you guys have made it to the end of this, thanks for watching. Um, check out Brennan's videos, check out his channel again, queerbtw. He has a lot of good stuff to say. So yeah, that's the response to him. These are just some of my stories and experiences. I hope you enjoy, and I hope all you guys do well and are well in this holiday season. Alright, later.